Hello everyone and welcome to a special edition of the March8 Show. Today's episode will prepare you with everything you need to know before attending March8 Live Women in STEM as part of Tech Live London. Whether you're tuning in online or coming down to the venue Tobacco Dock on June 23rd to the 24th, today's episode will provide you with all you need to know to get the most out of one of the biggest events in tech. There are a few special announcements to be made throughout today's show, and we're also joined by a special guest later on, Alex Tuck, who is the editor-in-chief of Technology Magazine. So obviously he has a huge part in the event, and he'll be joining us a little later in the show. But first, before we really jump into things, I wanted to give a rundown of the event and what you can expect. So Tech Live London, hosted by BizClick Media Group, is a 2-day hybrid event, meaning that all speaker sessions are streamed live to our virtual audience via our virtual events platform that we're using called Brella. You will gain access to exclusive digital stages with curated sessions from the globe's largest leaders in tech. I definitely recommend that everybody tunes in on demand after the day session as well. The event itself is made up of 4 zones. So, of course, we have March8 Live, there's Tech and AI Live, Cloud and 5G Live, and Cyber Live, all with high caliber speakers talking on their zone-related topics. Of course, I'm most excited about the March8 stage, where we're joined by 18 fantastic women in STEM who are talking on 4 topics that we have put together. So as you can see the agenda here just to my right, we've got some amazing speakers. You can see the type of companies they're coming in from. We've got Schneider, Genpact, we've got some CEOs of their own companies, which is super exciting. We've got IBM, things like that. And we're covering the topics, educating the future generation, breaking the bias, which was, of course, 2022 International Women's Day's theme this year. Why we need diversity, which is a huge topic that we cover in general, and we're super excited to have some speakers cover on the days as well. And of course, digital transformation, which is a topic that you'll recognize throughout the whole event. It's obviously Tech Live London is shaping the future conversations of tech. So digital transformation is something that you will see in a lot of the panel discussions and fireside chats. So super exciting. We've got a great lineup of speakers. And as well, we kind of want to hear from our audience. So we have a poll about the above topics. We want to ask you guys what you're most excited for March8 to be covering. There is the ticker flying by underneath me and also a link in the chat. I want to know, are you most excited to hear about the future, educating the future generations, breaking the bias, why we need diversity or digital transformation? So let us know, and we'll get back to that at the end of the show to announce the results. Of course, I have a small announcement to make. I'm excited to say that I will be hosting day 1 of March8 Live. This means that I'll be facilitating all speaker sessions and taking centre stage to deliver exciting Q&As and fireside discussions with our amazing speakers. This is an exciting opportunity for me, of course. I'm used to the LinkedIn Live shows, but why not take it to in person and be on stage with people who probably know more than what they're doing than I do. But either way, it's exciting enough. And we have a special guest host who is joining us on day 2 as well. So I highly recommend you stick around for her, because I'm sure she's going to be a lot better than I am. She's a journalist and she's done some really awesome stuff in the past. So we're kind of saving that one for an exciting announcement. But I definitely recommend to come back on day 2. And now, I promise I will stop talking shortly, but for those of you who live in the UK may already be aware, unfortunately, there is a rail strike in London that is taking place on day 1 of Tech Live London. We obviously found this out at the same time as everyone else, but we kind of made the executive decision to combat this. We have waived all ticket costs so that attendees can facilitate for their travel. So, of course, if you haven't already, be sure to snatch up the remaining tickets. They are now free, so anybody can access the event. This is a really exciting opportunity, I think, for anyone, obviously, who was interested and couldn't quite come before. There are some seriously amazing speakers across all 4 stages. I think it would be a real shame to miss out on this event. So now the tickets are free. We hope that everyone can come, whether that's via taxi or I think the overground is still running. We have some information on that later in the show. But please click the link in the chat, get your ticket, share with your friends and colleagues, because this is a great opportunity to network as well as learn about one of the most global industries that impacts us every day. And we're super excited to welcome everyone through the doors on the 23rd. A little bit about the venue. So once you step inside Tobacco Dock, which is an amazing venue, if you find your way up the stairs to the reception desk, you'll be greeted by our lovely team and some ticket stands where you get your personalized lanyard printed. You'll find yourself there in the networking gallery, which is a great place. We obviously recommend everyone to head to interact with other attendees, chat with our booths, and get a snack before the show begins in either one of our 4 zones. As the agenda was shown previously, you can see that on the day on our website or via the chatbrella. So be sure to have a browse and plan out exactly who you want to see, because there is going to be 4 stages running simultaneously. So make sure you are scheduled ahead of the day. We also recommend before everyone actually turns up on the door on the day that all attendees sign up to Brella. Brella is where we're hosting the virtual stages and the live sessions. It is essential that anyone in person or online is joining. Using Brella will allow you to set up networking one-to-one meetings, whether that is online or in person. You can submit questions to speakers during the live Q&As. You can watch every keynote and panel on demand after the event. So this is a super powerful virtual platform that we are leveraging, that we definitely recommend everybody gets their hands on, because it is a great place to network with our thousands of attendees. So I'm slowly running out of breath. I also feel like that is enough of me talking. So if that doesn't convince you to buy a ticket, then maybe this upcoming advert is. So stick around for the next couple of minutes to watch this exciting promo video to learn a little bit more about the event. And I'll see you guys shortly afterwards for a small Q&A with Alex Tuck.
Technology is transforming the way we live and work. From robots and AI to cloud and Internet of Things.
Cloud has become like kind of the silver bullet for solving all the world's hunger problem.
We are more connected, but with that also comes cyber risk. But innovation is not just changing our world, it's creating metaverses. Do you know how digital transformation is going to change how you conduct your business, or if your business even has a future?
The world that armies fought in the past could be almost decomposed by a group of people.
Join us at Tech Live London and hear exclusive insights from tech evangelists and global business leaders. Network with inspirational CTOs, CISOs, and VPs of technology. Register today.
Fantastic. Well, welcome back everyone from that short ad break. Hopefully that all gave you plenty of time to register for your ticket and to share it around the office to get all of your friends and colleagues attending Tech Live London. We look forward to seeing you all there. Next up in today's show, let's bring on our special guest. So please welcome Alex Tuck, the editor-in-chief of Technology Magazine, as well as the host of the Technology Magazine show. Welcome. Hi, Alex.
Hello. It's very strange to be a guest on one of these shows, especially a special one.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Always a special guest. Yeah, you're used to kind of running it, aren't you? So, for those who don't know, Alex, he is kind of the man behind the word of Technology Magazine, if you will. He runs a similar show. Is it on Wednesdays or Tuesdays? Your tech
It's on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays at 3:00. Yeah.
Tuesdays. There we go. Oh, a little plug for it. Why not? Yeah. So
Well,
Alex has a similar show.
there's not one this week. There's not one this week just because we're a little bit busy at the moment with doing the live event, obviously. So we're delaying it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. There's a lot, I'm sure everyone can understand, a lot of run up to happen before this event. So I just thought I'd bring Alex on here so we can have a kind of short Q&A, because he'll be there on the day with a equally exciting kind of job role. So I thought we could do a small little Q&A and just, hear his perspective about the event, of course, from a more tech side rather than my women in business side. So to kick things off, Alex, why don't you tell us about what you're actually doing on the day? Where can people find you?
Well, I've stepped up this year to host one of the stages. It's going to be the cloud and 5G stage. So much like yourself on March 8, it's going to be a mixture of fireside discussions where perhaps there's a little bit more of a contestable topic to debate. Then there's panel discussions, sort of talking about things relative to the industry. And then obviously the keynote speakers as well, and there'll be the option for everyone to ask questions from the audience, and there'll be microphones traveling around also amongst the crowd, so people can we want it to be engaging. We don't want just people to just sit there and absorb. We want it to be a two-way thing, and in particular, part of that, obviously, as you've mentioned, the Brella app, really important that everyone downloads that and gets their profile up. Just makes it easier to find the kind of people that you want to connect with, and make sure that you can share what you're looking for and who you represent, and you can find and you can match make with the people that are best suited to you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think as well, it's interesting. We have a really cool dynamic with it being a hybrid event, where obviously, like you said, we do have someone running around with a microphone in the room for live audience questions, but also people from around the world are tuning in and offering their opinions, asking their questions and things. So obviously, if you can't make it in person, we still highly recommend that the virtual side is something that you tune in. I mean, I've never been to a hybrid event. I don't know about yourself, Alex. Have you ever gotten the chance, apart from one of our BizClick events?
No, I think this is a bit of a new experience for me, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. Definitely.
And of course, running off that, it's going to be a super exciting event, and I think mostly that does sometimes come down to our amazing speakers. I kind of reeled off some companies earlier, but that's obviously just on the March 8 stage. We have 3 other stages, which are equally as exciting. So Alex, why don't you tell me a little bit about who you're most looking forward to seeing speak and maybe getting a chance to talk to?
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a catch-22 situation for me, because I'll be hosting on a stage for 2 days, and I'd love to see some of the people that you've got on the March 8 stage for sure. I mean, Alice Williams from Schneider Electric, famously one of the most sustainable companies on the planet, and so to hear her perspective, I guess I'm just going to have to catch it post-event, like most of the people who can't see everything, of course. We've all got those tickets sometimes to festivals, and you look at the lineup and there's millions of bands and you just can't see them all. So that's why we have all these things on demand, so people can watch it in their own time. But more importantly, in terms of who I'm looking forward to seeing virtually, Edwige Robinson from T-Mobile, great speaker to secure for us, really, really high profile. She's doing some amazing things. So looking forward to catching that virtually. As I say, Alice Williams of Schneider, any of the IBM speakers are always going to be good. We've got someone from the United States Air Force speaking. And yeah, there's just so many. I mean, you can just reel the names off. Vodafone Business, Infosys have just signed up. They're a really interesting company. So there's a lot of topics being discussed that we are seeing sort of appearing all the time. On my stage, on the Cloud and 5G stage, obviously 5G being a major talking point, and that'll be a big theme of the panel discussions. And really, what's so exciting about 5G in particular is just how many applications there are globally and across different, across manufacturing and entertainment and everything. So we've only really just started the journey when it comes to 5G in terms of what's possible. So it's a bit weird when we see in Mobile Magazine that we sometimes write features about 6G, which is way off in the distance. But obviously, it's our job to try and be the fortune tellers sometimes about what's going to come. But yeah, in terms of 5G, as I say, we're just at the start. So really interesting to see how it's used in things like defense and things like that. And BT, they'll be discussing that in terms of we're talking about edge compute, open RAN, and yeah, and lots of other interesting topics in regards to the sort of the tech side of things. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting, and I just have to catch it all after the event because I'm going to be in the event. So
yeah, definitely. That's something that I'm really excited to be obviously hosting the stage, but I would love to be outside networking with everyone. And I think that's probably why at the end of the event, we obviously have our kind of after event drinks reception with everyone. So, everyone's invited to that. We still get the chance to kind of talk then on a personal level to everyone, which is super exciting. And you kind of have obviously a shared topic with most of the people, obviously, because they've been there throughout the whole 2 days. So it's something that I'm super excited about. I'm also just kind of excited to meet everyone that I've been speaking to for the last, I don't know how many months, that have kind of supported March 8 and followed us and interacted with us and everything. So I was lucky enough to see some people at our last event, our launch event. But kind of actually getting to meet some more of them again is super exciting. And of course, I kind of gave a bit of a breakdown earlier about what to expect at the event. But Alex, I believe you've written kind of like a handy how-to guide, what to expect, that's going to help all of our attendees. So I wasn't sure if you wanted to run through that, give us all some points, what can we expect? How can we make the most out of our event? And of course, maybe a touch on the rail strikes that we mentioned previously as well.
Yeah, of course. The dreaded rail strikes. Fortunately, a lot of the stations around the event are actually not affected by the rail strike, which is really fortunate for us. So the likes of Wapping, Shadwell, and on the Elizabeth line. So, but we've put together a little guide that can sort of talk you through it all. I wonder if our man Ernie in the background can whip this up. So apologies in advance, everyone, for that face. I didn't realise until now there's a little bit of sort of a rustiness to the beard, which I'm very concerned about. So I apologise in advance. Just put this together today. Quick reminder that we're giving tickets away essentially, and so this is all complimentary to. Because we really want this to be for the industry. We really want to bring people together, and we realise, obviously, with the rail disruption that that it's going to make things harder if you're coming from further away. If you're in London, not so bad. So I've already got lots of PRs and clients that are trying to book in meetings with me as the editor in chief, and I'm not quite sure where I'm going to fit them all in. So I might have to set them up sort of next week. But it's great, and the buzz is happening. So, Ernie, if we could just scroll down and just have a little look at this article. As I point out, planning the routes, obviously, it's a big deal. Obviously, people are concerned about how they're going to get there. So we give a few tips. Big thanks to Lucy Bushels for compiling this initially, and I've stolen it for technology because I think it was so good and so clear that I just thought, well, I can't do any better. I'm going to have to use it. So thank you to Lucy for this. some clear links to Brella. As I say, I really can't recommend enough how important it is to sign up to Brella, both to meet the speakers. You can meet the people at the event and pose all your questions. You can set up actual meetings in their calendars. It's all available for you. Simply go to the link and use the code June 2022. Well, some people would say 2022, but
I was going to say, yeah.
I don't know why I made it longer, but yeah, and yeah, of course you can look at our agenda as well and plan your day a little bit. As I mentioned, for us it's slightly frustrating because we want to catch so many of these ladies and gentlemen that are going to be speaking. But yeah, it'll help you kind of plan according to time, so you know which stage people are going to be speaking on. Yeah, so definitely, yeah, head over to Brella, download it as soon as you register for the event. And yeah, I've given a few highlights of some of the brands that we cover. I've mentioned some of them before, the likes of IBM, Vodafone, T-Mobile. So it's some huge names coming to the event, so it's going to be great. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. The clock is ticking, and we're nearly there. And hopefully, our train will get us down there. We're going to be going the night before, so we don't risk it. But yeah, I really look forward to it. And don't forget, of course, that there's a little bit of food and drink as well, just for those important networking moments, so that we can have a nice, relaxed chat with all the people that we work with and that we are still to work with, so that we can set up further opportunities and connect them with each other. It's going to be great, and it's always my favorite day of the year. And personally, when I started at BizClick, my first job was essentially to go straight down to the event and be thrown into the mix. So I could barely say the company name, BizClick Media, and suddenly I'm talking to some of the biggest brands in the world, and they're telling me lots of things I probably should have written down. But it's a lot of fun, and I feel a little bit more prepared this year than I did last time I did it.
I can imagine. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a super exciting day. I've been lucky enough to work on, I think, all of the events actually that BizClick has hosted since our first ever one in September last year, I believe it was. So it's come a long way, and obviously March 8 is now getting to be in front of this new audience. We do have some STEM related content that we discuss, and a lot of the women that we feature are women in STEM, but being able to actually be in front of a physical audience and seeing how we get to be part of these conversations, whether that's starting them or joining them midway through, regards of getting women in leadership positions, women in boardroom, how we can support women in male dominated industries and the rest, I think is super exciting, that we're going to get that physical kind of haptic feedback, if you will, and see people nodding their heads and hopefully agreeing with everything that we can say. And I mean, something that I enjoy about the March 8 community is like the shared passion that everyone has for just empowering women, and we're all on the same team and everyone is striving towards the same goal, which is why obviously we're so thankful for all of our media partners and things like that who have helped us kind of promote this event, but also just been on the same page as us at all points. So it's just super exciting that we're going to have some people down there on the day who are just as equally passionate about supporting and empowering women in the workplace and in business in general. So we really can't wait for that. But like you said, I can't believe it's only a few days away now. But I think we might wrap back round now and start to kind of sign off today's show, discussing our poll, which I, of course, kind of proposed at the start of today. And it's running along the ticker at the bottom. So just to reiterate, the question was, what topic are you most excited for March 8 Live to discuss? The four kind of key topics that we've always promoted for this event are A, educating future generations, B, breaking the bias, C, why we need diversity, and D, digital transformation. So we kind of asked our audience what they were most excited about, and I believe we have the answers in. Let me just refresh, just in case any last minute voters. But yes, I don't know, Alex, if you had any thoughts on that. What topic are you excited for March 8 to discuss? Or equally, what do you think was going to be the highest answer on that?
Oh, wow. I guess obviously, I think diversity is a pretty important topic. But yeah, I mean, they're all important, to be honest. And the great thing is we are discussing all of them. But it is interesting to have a temperature check to see what people are feeling. But yeah, I mean, diversity for me, it's a big one. But yeah, what came out on top?
Yeah, so surprisingly, or maybe not so, the highest answer with 56% was educating future generations. And I think that's really interesting because we have a large mix of audience at March 8. We have entry level, but we also have director and above level of of women and men who support us. So clearly something that's really important to them is being that voice and being that leader and being able to pass on that knowledge through their stories and same with the speakers through their sessions to actually just educate, which is super, super fascinating. And then the next one we had was breaking the bias, and then digital transformation, and then surprisingly, why we need diversity, which I'm a bit shocked about. But I think diversity
Maybe the fact
comes
that
in the
it's at the
mix.
bottom suggests that's exactly why we need more diversity. I don't know.
We do. We do need more diversity, and I think perhaps because it's mixed into everything that we discuss and definitely everything that we cover at March 8. So I think hopefully it's almost implied that of course we need diversity. That's it's obvious. We can have endless conversations about it, but I think a lot of people are kind of agreeing this now, and companies of course are too. So there we go. There we have it.
Just one more thing. Just one more thing, Emily. So there's going to be lots of roving reporters on the ground for the event. So for anyone that's attending, just make sure that you may be there may be a camera suddenly appearing, and you'll be allowed to choose whether or not you want to be on film or not. But the main aim of that is really to find out what people are enjoying. What stood out, what are they looking forward to seeing coming up, and really kind of giving us feedback really on, because the event is for you, it's for the people that are coming to see us. So we want to know, we really want to get an idea in terms of what's working and what isn't working. Even if you've had any trouble with Brella or anything like that, like tell us. We that's why we try and make every event better than the last one, because we listen and we want to kind of improve. So it'd be great if people could just let the staff know, and if you have any questions, there's going to be quite a few of us on the ground to look after everyone. So yeah, come along. There's no excuses. It's free. All the stations are open around the tobacco dock. It's going to be great fun, and as I say, look forward to seeing you all there.
Definitely. And as a final, if that wasn't encouraging as enough, just as a final kind of cherry on the cake, we do have an awesome kind of experiences lounge where we're going to have a Formula One kind of what's the word I'm for? Simulator. That's the one. And so this was a car. Formula
One. Dancing. I just thought, milking a cow.
Yeah, I was just that excited, I guess. I don't know. It's going to be a super exciting experience room. There's some kind of arcade games, there's chances to win merch and things like that. Lots of great photo ops, which I'm excited about. The LinkedIn's going to be popping on that day. So definitely super exciting. And we have Nina in the chat today, who is one of our speakers, who's discussing the metaverse. And she has a fascinating company that she's going to be discussing. So it's a really exciting event for us, of course. Now it's literally around the corner, and we're just excited for everyone to join us on the day. So I'm going to wrap up today's March 8 show. Of course, there'll be one in 2 weeks' time. We might be able to do some sort of kind of breakdown of the event and get some speakers on it, and maybe show off one of our amazing speaker sessions on demand that you can view. That might be a fascinating show. So That's all from me and Alex today. Thank you so much, everyone that tuned in. I was laughing earlier because I saw my mum comment in the chat. She's so cute. So hi, mum. Thanks for watching. And thanks, everyone, for joining us today. We obviously hope to welcome you through the doors June 23rd at Tobacco Dock. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.